Your captain, number 9, Samuel Progressai.
I was pressing at you.
Mackenzie Jean-Charles.
How much was the, we got home at 6 a.m.
Nicholas Sampson.
Yeah, we had a but they pushed it over.
Number 21, Jeff Bradley. Numero 27, Ozer Wahid. Numero 68, Michael Legault. Number 88, Brandon Element. Numero 89, Philippe Amel Sauvé. Le numéro 91, Jonathan Tanguay. Numéro 93, Sébastien Lachapelle. Number 97, Stephen Poole. Number 98, Vladimir Faubert Jr. Number 99, Etienne Lena. Et le dernier, numéro 14, Marc-André Trudeau. Mesdames et messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, les Octane de Quebec, the Quebec Octane. And now from Brampton, here are your Midnight Express, number 91, Sahib Gill. Your captain, number 95, Jordan Crocker. Number 71, Mitchell Byrne. Number 16, Noah Lemos. Number 6, Steph Pitigillo. Number 3, Zach Correa. Number 15, Kyle Lewis. Number 9, Marcel Malay. Number 96, JC Gill. Number 95, number 11, JK Gill. Number 21, Andrew Jagg. Number 12, Zafir Rauji. 81, Ralph Taggart. Number 10, Jason Smith. Number 80, Mackenzie Wood. 19, Braden Dorian. 55, Anthony Lovelace. Your goaltender is number 57, Chris Ciparoni. Number 1 is Marco Cuban. Number 32, Tavish Davidson. And number 63, Caden Rauji. Before we get underway, if I could ask the captains of both sides, Jordan Crocker and Samuel Provençal, please come to center ice for a ceremonial ball drop. Now, if you're able, can we please all rise, remove your caps, face the flag, and get ready for the playing of our national anthem. Good luck, competitors. $10,000 is on the line. At the end, somebody will be declared the winner of 2025 Clash of the Titans, brought to you by Knapper and ballhockey.com.
The game, he's not ready to drop Good afternoon and welcome to the final of the 2025 Clash of the Titans. We are live from St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. Haig Bowl brought to you by Knapper. Ballhockey.com will be here with the opening face-off coming up in just a minute. So let's recap how we got here. What brought the Quebec Octane and Brampton Midnight Express to the final of the Clash of the Titans. It all began Friday night with round robin play. All games played right here at the Haig Bowl, the home of ballhockey.com and Knapper here in the Niagara region of Ontario. Round robin games Friday, all day Saturday, and that culminated with quarterfinals, semifinals, and then finals. In the semifinals, the Brampton Midnight Express down the Pittsburgh Gods 3-0 behind a stellar show by goaltender number 57, Chris Ciparone. You see him lining up and warming up between the pipes to our left. Meanwhile, the Quebec Octane, no more than 45 minutes ago, just put the icing on the cake, a 3-2 very close win over the Penn Hills Arsenal. And here we are set to go with the opening face-off. $10,000 is on the line. Brampton Midnight Express in the black with silver and red trim. And we have the Quebec Octane with the ball here, the powder blues with the dark blue trim. The ball goes in deep now, but it's Midnight Express. Up the wing here on the far side. Chipped at the length of the floor. The refs indicate no icing on that play. We got 19 on the short boards. Finds his winger on the far side, coming in 3 abreast. Walking the blue line now on his forehand is number 9. That's Provençal, who's the captain for the Quebec Octane. Brampton Midnight Express. Look for them to be very calculated, especially with the ball in their own zone. Quite often they set up low like this with a triangle setup to work their breakout. That time, though, they were unable to connect on the pass play to the far blue line, and instead it went the length of the floor, so icing has been called. So here we go. Let's go through the Midnight Express. In net, Chris Ciparone. I can't tell you how many shots he stopped in the semifinal, other than to say it was all of them. It was a shutout victory to book their ticket here into the $10,000 final. And once again, the Express will be looking for Ciparone to stand on his head here and hopefully cash their ticket for $10,000. Back underway here in the first period. The ball comes out beyond the red line. It's number 10 for the Octane, Mackenzie Jean-Charles. Turned over quickly, though, by the Midnight Express. Then it's number 4, Jean-Philippe Moquin, who's running the ball, advancing it through the neutral zone over to 91. That attempt on net went wide, but 27 for the Octane. Quick to pounce on that. Looking for Jean-Philippe Moquin again here on the near boards. But just was unable to connect. As the ball gets cycled down low here for the Octane. Once again, cycling it back down. As Brampton Midnight Express look to move forward. Turnover there, though. Here's an opportunity for the Octane. Just chipped into the corner. Oh, 91 with the goal on his stick, but it just bounced right off. And quickly, Midnight Express counterattack. 3-on-2, 19 now with the shot. Just sails wide. Interesting for Quebec Octane is Fred Gagnon, their goaltender. Backstop them to the win of the semifinals, but it's Maxime Blanchard. You see him there, number 33 with the red pads. He's between the pipes here in the finals for the Quebec Octane. Just past the 10-minute mark, so 2 minutes gone here in this gold medal final. $10,000 is up for grabs today as Octane just throw it deep. Work a change. Up the near boards here to number 6. That's Steph Pitagillo for the Brampton Midnight Express. Number 19 on the back end, Braden Dorian. Coming up the far side. Lots of running room here. That's 15 going in, Kyle Lewis for Midnight Express. Moving quick, still has the ball on his stick. Works his way almost 360 around the whole offensive zone. Octane now running up the court. Number 98 with a quick snapshot. Big rebound there by Chris Ciparoni, but it's corralled by the defense for Midnight Express, setting up behind the row net. They do that always, maybe not always, but they do it quite often, and they're content to just hang out behind the row net and set up their breakout, which always includes some sort of triangle setup, and that's what they're going for now, where the D has two options to his left and the right, and then generally the two forwards are on the blue line, kind of running a weave through the neutral zone, and that's what we see right now. The one winger, though, did come back down to his own blue line. He got that outlet pass. Now looking for 80 with some room in front of him, and they found him. Tried to throw that to the front of the net, but it's just kicked aside by Blanchard. This near corner now, Midnight Express fighting for control. The Octane have control of the ball now. That is Mackenzie Jean-Charles with the ball, moving it up to 19, Carl LeVay. LeVay, a big body there, trying to use it to get by 95. It just wasn't going to happen. Express gained the zone. It was 72 there, backhanding a soft one in on goal. Probably the right decision by Maxime Blanchard just to cover up on that one. We got Rauji here, Caden Rauji drops it back to 95. D-to-D, 16, Wine shoots. 19, LeVay just absolutely lays out to block that one. And now, just as he was getting an opportunity, his line mate 97 was unable to get back across the blue line, so offside was called. A couple of chances early on here, but players having a hard time finding the net. Marc-Andre Trudeau, number 14, lining up here for the Octane, who win the draw. Over to LeVay. It's their captain now, Jordan Crocker for Midnight Express. Sends a pass up the middle. Flipping it down low, little dump and chase here. And Express are still chasing after it in the far corner. Looked like 63 is going to get it. Tried the cycle, but Octane were wise to that. 27 for the Octane there, Ozar Wahid, just settling behind his own goaltender, Maxime Blanchard, as his team works a change. Nevertheless, moves it up the far boards. 2 or 3 more Octane players go off. And Octane, not too dissimilar to Midnight Express, where they're never afraid to run behind their own net just to kind of slow things down and get a little salvation. Tried to spring 55 up through the middle, but not to be today, just a little too ambitious on that play. So icing is called. We've got a face-off coming up in the Octane zone. Jason Smith in to take the draw for Brampton. He's able to win it back to the point. D-to-D now, number 3 left-hand shot on his off point. Sends it back to 55. There's Anthony Lovelace, 55. Sailed one towards the net, but never got there. Trying to make something happen off the half boards are the Midnight Express. Back now to 58, who finally decides just to throw one at the net, and Midnight Express nearly tapped in a rebound there as they're once again pressing, but intercepted by Quebec Octane. And that is Mackenzie Jean-Charles. As Octane, again, just content to possess the ball here while they change up their personnel. Here's one of their better players, 88. You'll recognize him with the multicolored helmet. That's Brandon Element. 91 in there as well, Jonathan Tanguay. This line has been a force for the Octane throughout this tournament. And the first penalty of the game is coming up as 91 for the Octane. Jonathan Tanguay just a little loose with his stick. Looking to chop at the ball, but missed the ball and instead got all feet. And tripped up the Midnight Express player just as he was crossing over into the blue line. So first real opportunity and swing of the game going the way of Brampton Midnight Express. His 2 minutes is up on the board. 5 minutes, 32 seconds to go here in the first period. Brampton Midnight Express to the power play. Look for them to work the ball around an umbrella across the top of the zone. Generating shots from all three positions. There's Jordan Crocker, your captain. Thinking about a shot. Now looking backdoor, we're Midnight Express. That hit something on the way. Able to negate the glove pass there. Over to Crocker, playing catch with his D-man. He decides to whine and fire. That's it. That hit Trudeau. He blocked that shot, I think, unwittingly, just kind of hit him as he was standing in the way. And then the clearing attempt, unfortunately for the Octane, went up into the ceiling and into the rafters. So a $1:29 to go, minute 29 to go here in the power play. 5 minutes to go in the first period as Brampton Midnight Express win that. It's over to Crocker. Now 96, look at a snipe. Shot that one right through the legs of the defender. And it's Crocker first to the ball here on the short side. You got Mackenzie Jean-Charles there on defense for the Octane, really throwing his weight around. Crocker now back to the top. Over to Crocker. Thinking about the shot, just trying to find an open lane. Now to 96. That shot hit a body. Half the power play expired now. Exactly 50 seconds left in the man advantage here for Brampton Midnight Express as they get a change. Everyone changes with the exception of their captain, Crocker. 4 across the blue line, and Crocker's just trying to find a hole. There we go. They get possession over the blue line, but nothing really on that dump and chase, and the Octane, their clearing attempt failed again as Midnight Express repossess the ball here with the power play. 20 seconds to go in the man advantage. There's Crocker quarterbacking things. He winds, he fires. That doesn't get through. Hit a stick of the Octane and clear to the side. But it's still Midnight Express with the ball. 10 seconds left in the power play. Looking through the seam. Here's a shot. That doesn't get through at all. And finally, Maxime Blanchard, the first shot that does get through to him. He smothers with 5 seconds to go in the man advantage. Now here's an opportunity for the Octane to maybe spring their player out of the penalty box. In 5 seconds, he's going to be coming out of the penalty box right around center ice. And there might be an opportunity to spring him on a break. We'll see what happens and what transpires. I'm sure Midnight Express are looking to make the most of the 5 seconds left with the man advantage. It begins with winning this draw. Let's see what happens. Octane come away cleanly out of that pile as the man is now out of the box. We're back to 5-on-5, and he's wide open on the backside. Nobody picked up 91 coming out of the penalty box. He's trying to stuff it in there on the short side, but not to be. Interesting that he was able to hop out of the penalty box unmarked. Coming in on that 3-on-2, you think that Midnight Express would have been well aware that there was 5 seconds left in that penalty, and he was going to be coming out of the box. But nobody picked him up. He was wide open. And too bad for the Octane that they weren't able to give him that ball a little sooner. That's Sebastien Lachapelle taking the draw for the Octane. Here's an opportunity now for Midnight Express. It's number 9 in with the shot. Nice save by Maxime Blanchard, and the rebound goes behind the net. Now we're pinching in on the near boards. Midnight Express defender. Briefly able to get the ball, but now it's the Octane. 89 that's running up with it before he finally decides to cycle back and give it to his defenseman. His captain, Samuel Provençal, is behind the net with the ball now. Moves it across to his defending partner. Ooh, that flip pass through the middle is a little dangerous. Lucky for Octane, they got the ball right back again. There's LeVay with a bit of a jump ball. Has Trudeau in the middle. Double covered though, so Midnight Express get the ball back. There's Gill in for 80 who was going hard to the net. That was Mackenzie Wood that was hustling, trying to get on the other end of that pass from J.K. Gill, but just unable to catch up to it. With 2:32 to go, we got a face-off in the Quebec Octane zone. Bonjour à mes amis à Québec. Je m'excuse, mon français c'est pas bon, mais c'est correct. Merci pour aller à Niagara pour le Clash de Titans 2025. Le Québec Octane, c'est une bonne équipe. Et maintenant, jouer pour $10,000. And that was number 4 for the Quebec Octane with a quick snapshot. Jean-Philippe Moquin from the dangerous scoring area. Midnight Express now moving up. Here's a 3-on-2 opportunity. There's a pass right in the slot, and again, another save by Maxime Blanchard with the rebound going up and over the net. Rather have the rebound end up behind the net than in front of the net, so good play by Blanchard with his rebound control. Has a great opportunity, though, on a 3-on-2. They're able to find J.K. Gill alone in the slot. Got off a decent shot. I'm sure if you asked him, he'd want another crack at that one. Made the goalie save it, though. Bad luck there for the Octane player. It looked as though his stick got caught in the door as he was running up the wing. He's okay, though. Went back to the bench. A lot of times you can end up spearing yourself in the gut on those ones. That hurts. Rink wide now. A behind-the-back pass for the Quebec Octane. And that's offside. Bit of bad luck there as that ball slowed down ever so slightly as it hit the referee. And that pushed his teammates offside on what was amounting to be a bit of a 3-on-2 off a broken play. Just a minute 14 to go here in the third period. Still no score. Brampton Midnight Express and Quebec Octane both having decent scoring chances here, but nobody able to break through. Just one power play, that going to Midnight Express. A couple chances, but only one shot that I can think of. As the Octane did a very good job of sealing the lanes and blocking shots. Into the final minute here of the first period. There's a pass in front, unable to connect with a streaking 96. Midnight Express, though, pick up the ball off that turnover. 72 pinching in from the point. Mackenzie Jean-Charles, he picked up on that, followed him all the way in. There's a nice little flip play out of Quebec to beat their defender. The defender went down, and that backhander. Oh boy, that was a nice chance, short side. But great stop by Chris Ciparoni. A little bit of control here by the Quebec Octane as we close out the first period. 20 seconds left now, and just as I say that, Brampton Midnight Express get the ball, and as they often do, cycle it back in their own zone and set up behind their own net. With 10 seconds left, we'll see if they try and force this ball into the neutral zone for one final shot, or if they're content in just staying behind the net. And I think as 25 circles back, that answers that question for us. At the end of one period of play with $10,000 on the line, Brampton Midnight Express 0. It's Quebec Octane. No score. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with the second period of the final of the 2025 Clash of the Titans, brought to you by Knapper, ballhockey.com. We are broadcasting live from Haig Bowl in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. Underway here as teams have switched ends for the second period of the final of the 2025 Clash of the Titans, brought to you by Knapper and ballhockey.com. Now moving from your right to left in the black with red and silver trim is Brampton Midnight Express. They were the top seed coming out of the round robin. Beat the Pittsburgh Gods in the semifinals to cash their ticket here to the $10,000 final. And moving from left to right with the ball right now in those baby blues are your Quebec Octane. They narrowly got by the Penn Hills Arsenal 3-2 in their semifinal match. And that's what gets us here. 0-0 now, second period. Brampton Midnight Express with control. They've got 3 players up high, trying to get them into position. Number 2 from Quebec seems fairly content just to let them stay out there by the red line. Keep them around the perimeter, it seems, and don't let anything on the inside. Well, that's how they're going to get inside. A snapshot there, trying to float one into the danger area. Express again with the ball, trying the same. Trying to find somebody who was cutting through to the net. He's got the ball now, does number 71. That's Mitchell Byrne. As he floats one towards the net, that goes wide. 58 on the far side. Midnight Express controlling the play here, but again, everything to the perimeter as the Octane seems to be clogging up the middle and seem fine as long as they want to keep it out of the danger spots. That's Andrew Jegg now. Something happened in front. Not exactly sure what happened there as I was watching the ball here, and as we were doing so, about 80, 90 feet away from the goal, it looks like 2 of the players just got tangled up with each other and fell into the net, knocking it off. So we'll see if that's something that continues, a trend for Quebec Octane. Their acceptance of allowing the Brampton Midnight Express just to control the ball as long as it's around the perimeter in their own end. They were not taking any of the bait, and we'll see what they do here. So you see, when Express have control of the ball, even there's a little opportunity where maybe they would have got in, right? A little mishandle of the ball. Now LeVay wants to do something about it. Again, big body, and he's using it. And now Andrew Jegg looking to dance his way off the half boards. Instead, cycles it down. On his forehand now, out of the corner. Tried throwing that back door. Good defense, though, by the Octane. And it's number 9 now for the Octane, their captain, Samuel Provençal. Setting up just like the Express do, behind his own net. Going the length of the ice now, little chip play for 88. Well done by Brandon Element. Tried to chip it to himself. Chipped it a little too far, however. Bit of a misplay for Brampton Express. 97 taking advantage of that for the Octane. Here he comes, bounces off the boards. Has the ball. Spinning, twisting, turning. Trying to find an open teammate. Has found one now at the back end. Right by the red line. Thinking about floating something towards the end. Instead floats it to the far corner where Provençal is there to collect the ball. And just as they tried to go inside on that defense, a turnover. Heavy body there. And the referee's arm goes up. And the Quebec Octane are about to go on the power play. In fact, it looks the other way. It looks as though the penalty is going to go to the Quebec Octane. I'm not sure whether or not he slashed him on his way down or what the call is going to be there from the referee, but it's clear that the Quebec Octane are going to be penalized for the second time. And Captain Jordan Crocker just settling things down here with the man advantage. At the back end, walking in, thinking about shooting. Here's a shot. Right on. And not sure what was going on there for the Octane as they only had 4 players on the floor for some of that. So an abbreviated 6-on-4 for Midnight Express that will now become a 5-on-4. And I'm not exactly sure what the call is there, but you'll have to rewind and take a look. It did look like the Brampton player hit the Octane player when the Octane player was in a vulnerable position. Something must have occurred there that the referee saw. And now, with 8:21 to go here in the second period, Brampton Midnight Express win. It's 16 on the top of this power play. Now down low. Looking to go tic-tac-toe with the Express. Leading to that guy in the bumper position. They do have one player just parked right out in front of the net. They pass it back and forth. There's a wind and a shot. Hits a body. The clearing attempt also hits a body. And 19 for Midnight Express. Handles the ball here. Weighing his options. Dancing in. Trying to find a seam. 16 doing the same. This is Andrew Jeg now, passing down low. Backdoor is there. Nice save by Maxime Blanchard. That was the defenseman on the far side that came down looking backdoor. Nice save by Blanchard. Here's Jeg, thinks about shooting. He does. That one sails just wide on the short side. We'll try it again. Jeg calling for it again on the short side. See what the options are. There he is. This time decides to settle it down. Down low corner. Let's see if they try and go through the crease again. Quebec Octane defenders just doing an incredible job of blocking shots. You saw there, number 10, Mackenzie Jean-Charles was actually himself laying on the ground to try and take away some of those passing lanes. 36 seconds to go here in the man advantage for Brampton Midnight Express. Still haven't possessed the zone, and Midnight Express got caught on a weird change there where they only had 4 guys on the floor. Crocker, their captain, weighing his options. There you go, finally able to make the right pass and gain zone. Over to the far boards, now down low. That's Crocker with it. Crocker looking to the front of the net, not there, little saucer pass. That shot went wide, but it's 72 that collects it in the corner. Behind the net now. Over to 96, far side. He's quickly sandwiched by 91 of the Octane. Octane with the ball now, but we're back to 5-on-5 hockey as that penalty has expired. Octane defenders have to be getting tired here on the floor. Good opportunity here for them to change. Long change here in the second period, so they're trying to do what they can. Let's see if Express can do it. No, they're not really able to do some sort of quick break and take advantage of that change. They do, though, gain zone quite well there. Number 72 did. He was trying to find 32, who was streaking to the net, but it's 32 now with possession of it. Midnight Express appeared to have a lot of guys on the floor there, but both of them hop back off as they're able to keep that ball in just at the red line. Octane, though, dispossessed them on that. Over to this side to Element. He leaves it for 68. Pushing his D down the boards here. 68 driving to the net on his backhand. Tried a little one-hand sweeper that just went wide. Express now with it. Here's a bit of a mini break. One-on-one, but 55 now in all alone to the backhand, shoots. What a save by Maxime Blanchard. Great run by 55 Anthony Lovelace. It was a one-on-one, but Lovelace was able to get a step on his defender and run the length of the floor to get that breakaway opportunity. Tried to go backhand 5-0. Now here's another opportunity for Lovelace. That shot gets blocked. Back to 6 now. That's Steph Pitagillo. Is calmly controlling it, seeing what happens. An opportunity now for Quebec Octane, but Express were up to that task. Quickly dispossessed them, and referee calls an offside. I believe the referee's pointing to the gate saying that it was the player that was going off the bench. It still had a foot on the floor that was the cause of the offside, not in fact the players that were on the floor. Okay. Far side now, Midnight Express with the ball. Gain the zone. In now to Jag, and another whistle goes. 2 players were jostling there in front of the net, and the referee looks like he's taking one of them out of the pile, and it might be a penalty coming up against Midnight Express, sending the Quebec Octane to their first power play of the game. Power play now for the Quebec Octane, down below the goal line, trying to walk out front. Too many bodies there, though, as Express try to create some offense while shorthanded, forcing Maxime Blanchard to come out and play the ball. He does. Octane quickly up the floor with it. Gain possession of the zone. Here's 19, LeVay. Apparently with a very dangerous shot. There's a quick shot and a cover by Chris Ciparoni. Third period now up and underway, and again, my apologies to everybody joining us from far away, but we are having a very heavy snow event here in southern Niagara, which is affecting internet stability here in the Haig Bowl Arena. But going to try and keep things up and running here for you for the third period that is just underway. 0-0. Remember, there is $10,000 here to the winner, so next goal might be a $10,000 goal, and Andrew Lovelace thought he might have had one right there if not for Maxime Blanchard in the red pads, goaltender for Quebec Octane. It was an interesting move to get Blanchard to start the finals, since it was Fred Gagnon who backstopped the Octane in the semifinals, a 3-2 win over the Penn Hills Arsenal that got them through to this $10,000 final. But obviously they have two very capable backstops that they believe in, and it is Blanchard that got the nod here for the gold medal game. 30 seconds gone now as Quebec Octane set up behind their own net. Midnight Express, though, they're sending 3-4 checkers in. Everybody is marked. Octane now looking for that stretch pass. Didn't quite connect with Provençal. Ciparroni decided better to play the ball than have a face-off deep in his own zone, and now they're dealing with that decision. But there they are in a very familiar place. Midnight Express setting up behind their own goal. Two forwards at the far blue line. Going to start crisscrossing through the neutral zone. Now we've got three up high. Little flip pass there. Looks like it's going to go the length of the floor for icing. And it does. Midnight Express broke a little bit there from their standard formation, which has a defenseman behind the net, another defenseman on the far wall, and the right winger here on the near side, almost down near the goal line, giving him an option to the left and the right. And then two forwards kind of circling in the neutral zone, seeing if they can get a step on their defender and maybe get a stretch pass to send them in on a breakaway, or at least gain possession in the far zone. Number 3 here, taking his time for Midnight Express, getting back for the draw. That's Zach Correa. And he finally does get to the hash mark. Ready to get underway with 10:34 to go in the third period. Midnight Express with the ball. Trying to flip one up in the direction of number 19, but that was intercepted by the Octane. And that ball is whacked at and ends up in the players' bench for the Brampton Midnight Express. Lots of people on both sides, everybody eager to hop over the boards here should they win, because $10,000, that's going to be a heck of a party. Going to be a heck of a drive home for either of these teams. Quebec, a little further to go. I think they're headquartered mostly out of Montreal. And there is Brampton Midnight Express setting up behind their own net, again, as they like to do. And 32 skates the length of the floor there, got a step as the defender decided to chase him behind the net, and he was unable to catch up to him. And now that ball just kind of bounced around back and forth between the Octane and Midnight Express, and here's Octane with it again. 3-on-3. Nothing really looks too dangerous on this rush. 98 gets the zone. There's a shot from the far side, steered aside by Chris Ciparroni. Octane now circling, look to have a bit of a jump in their step. They keep cycling in the offensive zone. Occasionally people cut right down the middle into the slot, and they're looking to feed them as they do so. That's a turnover though, and 19 picks it up for Midnight Express, was trying to cycle back. But that ball once again got chipped into the Midnight Express bench, and we have a stoppage of play with 9:16 to go here in the third period. $10,000 can buy a lot of smiles and a lot of laughs. Midnight Express controlling it now in their own zone. Let's see how far back they bring it. Right around the hash marks now. Coming up this side to J.K. Gill. His backhand through the slot just missed its intended target, number 15. He gets shoved from behind by Element, who takes the ball away from him. 3-on-2 now, opportunity for the Octane. Let's see if 11 finds the open guy down the slot and didn't. Took a shot that never made it to the net. Still with the ball though, there's an opportunity. Oh, what a great save by Ciparroni. No goal. Referee emphatically saying no goal. Brampton Midnight Express definitely going to take a penalty for that. The Octane players were simply trying to plead their case to the referee that in fact that ball had crossed the line. The referee was in perfect position to make the call. There it looked as though both the goaltender, the ball, and the net were being pushed. And the referee, again, with the arms across horizontal, very categorically letting the players know that no, that is not a goal. After that, one of the Midnight Express players just decked the Quebec Octane player who was standing in the crease. And I believe that is the penalty that is going to put the Quebec Octane on the power play right now. Undisciplined for Brampton Midnight Express. A very crucial time in the game, 8:44 to go, 0-0, $10,000 on the line. And he cross-checked him right across the chest in plain view of the referee. One of the easiest calls they've made. But Midnight Express are going to kill some of the time here, some of the clock. As they're able to throw it the length of the floor. Provençal now looking to find a hole in the defense for Midnight Express. 15 on a break now for Midnight Express. Backhand pass, doesn't connect. The other way now on a 4-on-3 come Quebec Octane. 91 runs himself into trouble there along the far boards. Battling hard now against Midnight Express. Both bodies go down. Here's an opportunity, far side. Down low now. Back up to the top. Looking to see if they load up LeVay over on this side. Here he is. There's the shot. Great save. Great positioning by Ciparoni. LeVay, if he wants to score, is going to have to get that ball a little higher on that shot. As Ciparoni had his glove placed perfectly right on top of his pad. You're going to have to get that in the top third of the net if you want it to go in. Here's 15 now for Midnight Express. Throwing it the length of the floor. Blanchard forced to play the ball, but did not want to cover it. Octane with the zone and the man advantage for another 33 seconds. Again, looking to line up LeVay. He is here. Decides to handle it instead. They go through the seam over to Element on the short side. Back up top. That pass right through LeVay's legs. Element now, short side, cross crease, back to the top. LeVay is cocked. They give it to him. There's the clapper. Not sure if that went wide or if Ciparoni got a piece of it, but LeVay's back up top of the ball again. As the penalty expires, we are back to 5-on-5 ball hockey, and it's in! What a goal by Brandon Element. Is that the $10,000 goal that the Quebec Octane were looking for just as that power play expired? He got a shot off from just outside the blue line, and it went in. Top shelf. We were just mentioning before that if you're going to score on Ciparoni, you got to put that ball in the top third of the net, and that's exactly where Brandon Element put that shot. Bit of a seeing eye shot, lots of traffic in front, and it found the net. Now 1-0. 6.5 to go. 6.5 minutes is what separates the Quebec Octane from $10,000 and title of Clash of the Titans 2025, brought to you by Knapper and ballhockey.com. We are live here in St. Catharines at the Haig Bowl. Nice and warm in here. Outside, can't say the same. We are getting heavy, thick snowfall, which is affecting travel right across the region. Luckily, we don't have to go anywhere for at least another 6 minutes. Here's an opportunity for the Octane. Just a little offside, says the referee on this side. Gives both teams an opportunity to change up their personnel and get some fresh legs out there. To the right of Maxime Blanchard is where we're going to begin this play. Draw one by Midnight Express, but the Octane able to fire through there off the draw and gain possession. 98 now, twisting and turning is Vladimir Faubert Jr. Decides to dump the ball in deep, where Midnight Express, they gain control. Up to number 9, that's Marcel Mallet. Gets in over the blue line, now weighing his options. Goes rink wide, here's a shot. Misses the net far side, but that's collected by Mallet once again. 5-on-5 ball hockey. There's Crocker, softs one towards the net. Mallet back to Crocker. He's being closely guarded, over to Mallet. Thinking about what he's going to do. Sends it down to the corner, short side. 5 minutes to go now in the third period. Quebec Octane just scored at the end of a power play to go up 1-0, the game's only goal. $10,000 is what we're playing for today, folks, as the Octane gain possession and run it back almost as though they were Midnight Express behind their own goal and set up. The Baby Blues of the Quebec Octane now. Stepping out on one side of the net. We'll see whether J.K. Gill, the forward for Brampton, decides to run after him behind the net and force him out, and he somewhat does. As we're back underway here, the Octane moving up the half boards, but then cycle back below their own goal. Express getting a little frustrated now with this game of possum that the Octane seem to be playing. They intercept that clearing attempt. It's Crocker now, down low, over to Gill. That shot doesn't get through, stuck in the feet. Gill swipes at it. Short side, Blanchard stopped that one. Clearing attempt though, doesn't get out. It's Crocker again, over to Gill. Gill looking for a passing lane. Sorry, that's not Gill, that's number 16. That's Noah Lemos. Here's an opportunity now for the Octane as one of the defenders slips as he spins away from that. That's Jonathan Tanguay doing a lot of hard work there down in the far zone. Under 3.5 to go now in the third period. That's the time that separates the Quebec Octane from $10,000 here at the Clash of the Titans 2025. 9 teams began on Friday, whittled it down to just 2. And in 3 minutes' time, we will know who wins $10,000, who wins 2025 Clash of the Titans. And right now, Octane seem pretty content just to stay on the outside. I'm surprised that Brampton are allowing them to do so, but just as I say that, Midnight Express turn the ball over. And I'm going to try a counterattack of their own. 3-on-3 here, everybody's accounted for. Rink wide for 72. As the Quebec Octane get tangled up behind the play with their captain, Joe Crocker, and it looks like they are going to the box. What a turn of events. Way behind the play, Captain Crocker, Jordan Crocker, so I said Joe Crocker, Captain Jordan Crocker was running up to join the play, and it looked like it was Tanguay on the back check that it got his stick caught up in his feet and tripped Crocker from behind. Seems as though his timeout has been called. I mean, if you want to talk about a more crucial part of the game, there's no more crucial time than this. 2:27 to go. Brampton Midnight Express trail 1-0. $10,000 to the winner. Midnight Express over there planning some sort of power play attack. I assume that they will be pulling Ciparone, their goaltender, to try and get that 6-on-4 advantage. He's still in the net as of now, however. We'll see whether they do it at the minute mark, how long they wait to increase their odds here by getting the 6th attacker out there. Right now, they're sending a familiar trio up front. And on the back end, I expect to see Crocker. And I see Crocker now directing traffic. Midnight Express now, over center. Oh, another penalty coming up to Quebec Octane here is right off the draw. The centerman for Midnight Express was looking to recover the ball, and it looks like Trudeau was the one who got the stick up high. Definitely a high stick there. Easy call for the referee. And now with 2:19 to go, we've got another penalty going up on the board. Just 8 seconds into that initial power play, and now another 2 minutes on the board with 2:19 to go. So a second ago, we were wondering whether or not Midnight Express were going to be able to score on the power play to tie this thing up. Now I'm wondering whether Midnight Express is going to be able to score twice on the power play and maybe walk away here as Clash of the Titan champions. It's a 5-on-3. Ciparone still in the net at the far zone. Surprised they haven't pulled him for a 6th attacker, being down a goal. We'll see what Midnight Express do. Maybe they'll yank him if they control the draw here. There is the draw. Midnight Express do control it. As I look to my left, Ciparone not even looking to the bench. You got Crocker. He's thinking about it. Here's a one-timer. Nice save by Blanchard. Here's another shot now. That one sails high and over the net. Ciparrone's still in the net. Wonder when they're going to get him out of there. 5-on-3. The likelihood that the Octane are even going to possess this ball is very slim. There's a goal. They were able to move it around, the 5-on-3, and eventually got it back to the left defenseman, but Midnight Express had really shrunk their power play attack, so he was in really the high slot by the time he took that snapshot. It was a one-timer, and he put it in a great spot. Nothing Maxime Blanchard could do there. 5 guys on the floor for Midnight Express and only 3 for Quebec Octane. There are a lot of lanes, a lot of open floor for Brampton, who remain on the power play. 1:30 to go in this man advantage. The game is now tied 1 apiece as Brampton goes back to the power play. Here's a shot from J.K. Gill. That was a laser that just went over the glass. Not exactly sure what the call is there. Maybe offside. Emotions are running a little high now, as you can imagine, from both sides. Trying to make sure that every call is clear and every call is just. So not exactly sure why the whistle went there, with the face-off remaining in the Octane zone. The referees decided to talk this one over as nobody's really sure why the whistle went. J.K. Gill took a shot from outside the blue line that went over the net. He was on the correct side of the yellow line or the red line, so icing is not a call. I thought maybe offside was the call, as it looked as though the Brampton Express player was going to be the first on the ball, in which case the faceoff would have come outside the zone. So referees getting together there and now explaining to the benches exactly why the whistle went and what the call was. I'm still not sure myself. And I'm sure the coach for the Octane is saying a lot of the same things that we were saying, well, then why is the draw down in my own zone, and what exactly did the whistle go for? Brampton Express, obviously, they're going to be pretty happy with this outcome. So 1:37 in the period, 1:18 in the power play. Scores tied at 1 apiece as Andrew Lovelace lost his stick there. Octane playing a box. Now more into a diamond as they set up the umbrella to the Express. Back to Crocker. Cross ice now for Lovelace. Lovelace back to the top. That's J.K. Gill. Back now to Crocker. Crocker thinks about shooting. Tried to force a pass through a lane that wasn't there. In heavy on the forecheck was number 4. He backs off, however. It's Crocker once again. Gill is cocked, loaded, shoots. That sails into the mesh. Live ball, however. And once again, the referee emphatically waving that off. It was hard to follow that bouncing ball. That ball at some point hit the mesh over the glass, but as we've been playing all weekend, it's a live ball when it hits the mesh, and then ricocheted back into play, and there were a lot of bodies. From where we were, we couldn't see the ball. Where the referee was, he obviously could. He was in perfect position to make that call. And again, very deliberately and very immediately signaling that that was no goal. 37 seconds left in the power play, 56 in the third period as the Express win the draw back to Gill. Gill comes back short side to Lovelace. Here's Gill now at the top. There's a shot. That sails wide. Who has the $10,000 shot? That's what people are wondering right now. Is it Andrew Lovelace, who's after the ball now on the near boards? Down in the far corner now. It's 10 that has it for Midnight Express. Cycle back. 5 seconds left in the man advantage. J.K. Gill is looking for a change. 18 seconds left in the period as we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. There's Lovelace in the slot with it. Just loses control as it settles into the corner. Behind the net now for the Octane. Their captain, Provençal. That pass gets intercepted. 3 seconds to go. And that's going to do it for the third period. What an exciting game we have going on here at Haig Bowl in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. A $10,000 shot is what awaits. Somebody has it. Somebody has the hot stick. One of these players, either in the baby blue or the black and red, one of these players has a $10,000 shot on their stick. Who is it going to be? Stick around. Overtime of the 2025 final at Clash of the Titans, brought to you by Knapper and ballhockey.com, is coming up next. Lining up here for overtime in the final of the 2025 Clash of the Titans. Somebody's going to score the goal. One team's going to win $10,000. Who is it going to be? In your baby blue, that is the Quebec Octane. In the black with red and silver trim, that is Brampton Midnight Express. Both teams switched ends here to start their fourth period. After 3, it was a 1-all tie. Both goals coming on the man advantage. We'll see if switching ends plays a role, as now both teams have the long change if anybody gets caught out there for a period of time. But right now, Octane does not appear to be fired out of a rocket to begin the overtime, as they're content with just setting up behind their own net. Now they do. Now they work their breakout. It's Element on the far side, walking into his own slot. Throws it up the far side for LeVay, but it's Crocker, the captain for the Midnight Express, that picks that off. But quickly, Octane get the ball back and think about moving it up the near boards. There's Element now trying to beat his man. Gets by 1, tries to get by 2. LeVay now, big body, big shot in the corner. He's hard to knock off the ball. Brampton, though, doing everything in their power to do just that. And eventually Crocker does come out of that scrum with the ball. Here we go. We got a sprint underway as 63 was off on a track race. Oh, that looked like too many men there for the Quebec. Great shot there. Another good shot. That one sails over the net. It's number 4, Jean-Philippe Mouquin, hard on the forecheck. There's a cross-check, a couple cross-checks by captain Jordan Crocker, and he's going to the box for that. The referee let the first one go, but the second one right in the lower back. He's going to call that one, and I got to say, you can check the tapes, and je m'excuse mes amis de Quebec, but that was too many men for the Quebec Octane. As the player jumped off the bench and immediately played the ball, well, you could see that the player that he was changing for still had 2 feet on the floor. In fact, in the offensive zone. So they got to break one way, and then, less than 30 seconds later, the referee's arm goes up when Jordan Crocker, thinking maybe that the whistle was away, takes 1 but not 2 cross-checks right into the back of number 4, Jean-Philippe Mouquin, who's actually lined up here playing right D. It looks like the play is to come back to Mouquin, probably set up their power play. We got LeVay on the draw for the Octane, and it does come back to Mouquin. LeVay, he's the big shot there. on the far side of that umbrella. Down to Element. Element tried to shoot short side. He may have seen a hole there and thought maybe there was something to shoot at. The ball goes out of play, and now the discussion as to whether or not it hit anyone or anything before it went out of play. The referee indicating, nope, sorry, that went straight out, and the face-off will come outside the blue line. But maybe more important to that is that the Quebec Octane will not have possession of the zone. So they still must gain the blue line. It's LeVay on the draw. And they will gain the zone just that easy as Moquin runs it over. Back up to the top now to Provençal. Look for him to pass over to LeVay. There's the shot. LeVay wants that one back as that sailed high and wide. Let's see if they give him an opportunity. Provençal giving it a different look. Up to the top now, that shot. Looks like it got deflected and sailed wide. Octane, though, still with it. Again, switching positions. 97 comes into the high slot. That's their captain. Back to the top. Here's Moquin, back to LeVay. That shot gets deflected. Off the mesh, off the glass, but stays in play. 97 with it now. That's Stephen Proulx. Proulx comes in. That shot gets blocked. LeVay over to Moquin. Back to LeVay. Back to Moquin. That shot fired wide. LeVay, though, able to collect that ball on the far wall. Loading up Moquin again. He fakes the shot. Over to this side. Back up to the top of the umbrella. Moquin then with the shot. Rebound right there and available finally. Midnight Express able to clear that ball. 40 seconds left. 40 seconds left in the man advantage for the Quebec Octane, who gained the zone. Provençal, the captain, down in the far corner, trying to find some empty room here as they continue the power play. Getting roughed up, though, by Midnight Express. Moquin gets it. Let's see if they can rotate this around and take advantage of the Express being out of position. They do not. Over to this side of the umbrella, now back up to the top. Moquin thinking about it. Fires far side. Element takes a shot right into the pads of Ciparoni. Now he throws it far side. Just 5 seconds to go here in the man advantage. Provençal down low. Now Provençal with the game on his stick. LeVay with the game on his stick. He tries to get a shot off, cannot. Now the backhander goes wide. Midnight Express sensing an opportunity. LeVay is definitely going to be tired. It's the captain Crocker who fans on that pass and covered up by Maxime Blanchard, goaltender for the Quebec Octane. So there you have it. The first power play of this overtime period comes and goes. Almost all of the 2 minutes were spent inside the Express zone. Ciparoni forced to make a couple of stops. I don't know how many of them he actually saw, but it doesn't matter. He held it out. And let's see if that gives a little boost of energy to the Brampton Midnight Express, who are now set to go on the attack. Draw in the Octane zone. Little spin move on the near zone, or near boards rather, by number 10. He overruns the ball. 3-on-2 opportunity down low now for the Express, but that pass is intercepted by the Octane. It's 89 over the wall. He gets picked off, though, at the blue line. 96 in. That hits a foot, and it's turned over. However, Brampton Midnight Express are the first on the ball. Down behind the net now for their cycling winger. You got another winger coming in hard off the change. That ball didn't miss by much. Lots of oohs and ahs from the crowd. Turnover there by the Octane. Midnight Express have the ball in the slot, poking and prodding at it, but Blanchard is down there with his red pads, able to get a glove on that, find that ball out of that pile, pick it out, and we get a stoppage in play with 5:32. I believe this is continuous overtime, so don't worry. I just believe at the end of 5 minutes and 21 seconds, should we still be tied, we would just have a break and change ends once again and go to a second overtime period. That's what we have left in this opening overtime, 5 minutes, 32 seconds. It was Brampton Midnight Express tying the game with under 2 minutes to go on a two-man advantage. They had a two-man power play with under 2 minutes to go. And here's a shot from 55. That one, who was trying to pick a top corner, was Andrew Lovelace. Now he stands up the Octane player on the rush. But it's Element that intercepts that ball in the neutral zone. Octane now, they appear to be flying. It is Moquin again. Just throws the ball in down low. There's Brendan Element. Let's see if he tries to shake his defender one-on-one. Instead, throws it back to Moquin, who's thinking about throwing it at the net. Tries to go through the defender's legs, but it gets blocked. Octane with the ball now in the low corner as Moquin goes for a change. Fresh legs over the board for the Octane, who still possess the puck. And his captain, Provençal, was able to spin away from his check. Possessing the ball now just on the half wall. Weighing his options. Finds one here, 97. There's a shot off the crossbar. Oh boy, that was the $10,000 shot right there. As Brampton fired the length of the ice. And it is number 97. 97 that's just looking skyward. Stephen Proulx, wondering how he could be so close. Almost sent his teammates into a frenzy with that one. It's a game of inches, friends. Stephen Proulx found that out the hard way. We got Chris Ciparoni, the goaltender for Midnight Express. Just adjusting his equipment a little bit there. Grabbing a sip of water. Looks like he's ready to go. As is everybody. We got Trudeau, 14 in. Over center. He's taking the drop for the Octane. And referee calling for a couple of new centers. That was Nicholas Sampson, number 11, taking the draw for the Octane. And it's Sampson battling for the ball in the corner. Squirts out to number 10. Express now come out 3 wide. Near boards, number 58's got it. Shielding the ball and dumping it in for Andrew Lovelace. Lovelace cycles it back into the corner. Another cycle by Midnight Express. Fresh legs coming out of the gate. On the far side for Brampton. Looks like Octane are going to win that battle down in the corner, and they do. However, a bad bounce and a hasty play. And Express once again have the ball down in the far corner. Express able to get a change here. Thankfully for the Octane, they were able to gain possession of that ball. Looks like they're going to get a change of their own. As 3 players head to the bench. Quebec Octane now behind their net with the ball. Sizing up the defense and trying to figure out their next move. Trudeau just casually crossing through the high slot. Now makes a sprint for the far post. Here comes the ball as well, Trudeau's way. Put him in a one-on-one. Express looking for a bang-bang play there at the blue line, but just a step too quick with that pass as number 9 was still offside. Marcel Mallet, one of the sharpshooters here for Midnight Express. If you're going to guess who's going to score for Midnight Express, the centerman coming out now, J.K. Gill, always a pretty good guess, or he's on the right wing, always a pretty good guess. For the Octane, big number 19 here, LeVay, he's got a heavy shot. He likes to use it. Hard to pick 2, I'll do that. Let's just say that. I'll choose J.K. Gill for Midnight Express and LeVay for the Quebec Octane, who are playing defense now. In the corner, there is the aforementioned Gill. 89 give him a rough ride, but Gill still able to maintain possession of the ball. Trying to work his way out of the corner and out of that check. No call on that. You know the Express bench were calling for a penalty on that play, but none to be done. Now we're able out of the corner. Gill on the far side. Wow, lots of hard work there by that forward crew for Brampton Midnight Express. And they were able to generate a scoring opportunity out of it. So good for them. As Ciparoni now plays it up. Here's Midnight Express mounting a bit of an attack. Little foot pass through. Looked like they had numbers. On the far wall now. 15's got the ball for Midnight Express. It's Kyle Lewis. Back to the top here. Thinking about shooting it. Instead, gives it to Jordan Crocker, the captain. He's waiting for his team to complete the change. Doing a bit of a cycle here and a weave. Crocker walking the blue line. Over to the far side and now back to Crocker. At the top, lots of traffic in front. All 3 Brampton forwards just collapsed into the crease there. Crocker decides not to send it into the pile. It's 72 now with the ball. He sends one towards the net. That made it through everything except Maxime Blanchard. He took it off that left red pad of his. As Midnight Express still with the ball, calling for another penalty there as sticks or gloves or something seemed to get up high, but referee says play on. There's a shot from the far point. Nearly made it through as Brampton Midnight Express now mounting a bit of an attack. Behind the net now with the ball. He's got captain Jordan Crocker calling for it on the point. Trying to wind out from behind the net now are the Express. Over far to Crocker, near side. Bobbles the ball a bit before settling things down. Crocker to the middle. Fakes a shot. Now snaps it. It's blocked by LeVay. LeVay now far side by himself. Decides to just sweep the ball in as Octane are able to get a much needed change. 15 seconds to go now in this first overtime period of the final of the 2025 Clash of the Titans. Brampton Midnight Express in all likelihood just going to wind down the last 5 seconds here and content to just do so behind their own zone. Everybody's going to go back to their benches, get a break. We'll see whether or not the goalies change in and what we have in store for the second overtime period. This is period number 5. And we're about to get underway at the 2025 Clash of the Titans, brought to you by Knapper and ballhockey.com. Play just underway here in the second overtime of the final of the 2025 Clash of the Titans. If you're just joining us, we've got in the baby blues, that's the Quebec Octane. And in the black with red and silver striping, that is the Midnight Express of Brampton. 1-1 at the end of 3 periods. First overtime period settled nothing, as we have number 10 for the Octane go down, and that's going to result in an opportunity here for Midnight Express. A 3-on-2. 58, the $10,000 shot. Is this it? As he pokes it towards the net, and Maxime Blanchard had to be sharp on that tricky little stop. Octane now with the ball. A lot of physicality here as players are just putting it all on the line for $10,000. Pass rink wide, just missed the stick of number 98, Vladimir Faubert Jr., who was just sprinting into the offensive zone. Looked like he was going to be able to get off a shot if he was able to corral that pass. But instead, we've got a face-off now coming to the right of Maxime Blanchard. So far in the overtime, the Quebec Octane were given a power play opportunity in the first overtime period, unable to capitalize. There's a shot. Never gets through to the net. In fact, deflected to the corner. A one-arm chop by the Octane defender sends that ball the length of the floor. And so with 8:53 to go here in the fifth period, or the second overtime period, we'll have a face-off coming up to the left of Blanchard. Brampton has been doing a very good job in the face-off circle. We got 19 now here squaring off for Midnight Express. That's Braden Dorian. Loses that draw, though, and it's Captain Provençal, who's quickly retreated behind his own net to set things up for the Octane. Brandon Element comes over the board, one of their sharpshooters there with the multicolored helmet in the middle. Meanwhile, we've got 98, Faubert Jr. trying to make something out of nothing on the far side. Races into the corner, but the Express got there first, and now control things, slowing things down behind their own net. Element watching closely for the Octane. Up on the short side to Marcel Mallet. For the Express, we got 32 making himself available right in the middle. There's the pass now over to 32. LeVay able to play decent enough defense to block that attempt by Midnight Express. Up the far side now to Element. He's got some bodies going to the net. He's going to throw one towards the net. Oh boy, does he have some bodies going to the net. Well, you saw it there. That was Jonathan Tanguay coming hard off the bench. There's a change on the bench, and he sprinted in a straight line to, well, where you see him now. He scored, the ball did not, as he picks up the water bottle for Ciparone, the goaltender for Brampton Midnight Express. At this point, friends, family, mes amis, you're just hoping that the winning goal is a good goal. Right? Last thing we want to see is a goal that careens off somebody's leg or comes off the glass, off the backboards or something like that. We'd like to see a good quality goal scored here. It's 91-11, that's J.K. Gill and Jonathan Tanguay. They get tangled up before the drop of the ball, and they continue to tangle with each other after the ball is dropped. And it is Tanguay now in on the forecheck. Decides to go a little more passive. Midnight Express now walking the ball back behind their own net. Octane not putting a lot of pressure on the Express here on this breakout, almost conceding the zone. Great work there on the far side to generate this chance. There's an opportunity. There's a chance. Blanchard doesn't know where the ball is. Luckily, it was Tanguay that came away with it. Blanchard made a save, but did not know where that ball was. The rebound dangerously came right out front. Oh boy, as the two players get tangled up, racing for the ball in the corner, both go down. And both benches calling for a penalty on that one. Midnight Express now up and over the line. Tanguay squeezes his man out. Or sorry, that was Trudeau who squeezed his man out. And 63 for Midnight Express gives a little back to him. As the Octane set up behind their zone. They had Jean-Philippe Moquin in motion there. Looking to hit him. Trudeau thinks about running. Moquin's open in the middle. But Trudeau goes off for a change. So Octane not going to push forward into a 4-on-5 situation. Now they're set. 5 on the floor. Dangerously now in front of his own net. Makes a pass D-to-D over to Provençal, who circles back behind his own net. Just over 4 minutes gone here in the second overtime period. Brampton Midnight Express and Quebec Octane. Provençal wincing a little bit at the far blue line. Looks like he got a stick in the arm or something like that. So he'll go shake that one off as play continues. There's a hard pass. He's quickly knocked off the ball. Midnight Express countering now, 96. Into the middle. There's a little snapshot that gets blocked. Heavy body coming in now. There's Element. Drops to Moquin. Is this the $10,000 shot? Just saved by Chipperoni with the blocker. Emotions running high now as bodies are flying everywhere. Who's got the $10,000 shot? We know that they're in the building. That much we know. Somebody here is going to score a goal that's going to give their team $10,000. Will it be Brampton Midnight Express? Will it be Quebec Octane as they flip one towards Blanchard? And he gloves that down, and with 4:43 to go here in the second overtime period, we got a face-off coming up in the Octane zone. All set now for this draw. The Octane come away from the ball, and quickly now it's 91 Jonathan Tanguay, first on the ball on the near boards in the Express corner. Ball gets shot up into the air. Express take control and seek salvation behind their own goaltender, as they so often do. 3-on-3 now, rush for Midnight Express. It's Andrew Lovelace now into the corner. First to retrieve the ball as his teammate gets dumped right in front of Blanchard. Lots of traffic in front as Captain Jordan Crocker tried to sail one through. Now it's Tanguay running away. Sorry, that was Andrew Jagg who tried to throw that through. Octane had bodies going to the net. Smart play there by Chipperoni, the goaltender, to play that one again. Here's Element walking dangerously into the slot. Ball ended up at his feet. It's a 2-on-1, 2-on-2. Call it a 3-on-3 opportunity here as that rush fizzled very quickly. Trying to go to the net there. Trying to make something out of nothing. Ball right there lying in the crease. Luckily, Brandon Element saw that and flipped it out of danger as the Midnight Express put on a little push of their own here. A seesaw battle. You have Quebec Octane that seemed to have the better of the play for a minute or so, and then Midnight Express will come back with some pressure of their own, and that's what's happening right now. It's Brampton. Up top now to Crocker. Crocker sails one down into the far corner. Midnight Express have it. Tries slamming something at the net. Ended up in the equipment of Blanchard. And with 3:04 to go in the second overtime, we got another face-off coming up. Face-off controlled by Midnight Express. That snapshot sails wide. Here's a turnover now. Number 80 with another snapshot. Missed that same corner. Back to the point now where Crocker has it. Quarterbacking and taking his time. Thought about slamming it through traffic. Looking to find somebody open. Finds him now with a foot or two off his defender, Brandon Element. Is 15. Here's a shot, number 80. That one is blocked. 71 now for Midnight Express with the ball. That's Mitchell Byrne. Spinning away from his defender. Back to Crocker. Crocker just sailed one towards the net, and Blanchard just coolly grabbed that line drive like a shortstop. 2:12 now to go in our second overtime period with $10,000 on the line. I want to give a big shout out and thanks to our crew here. We've got Brandon Scram, who's producing this show. We've got cameraman Phil Bowes and also Bruce Harris. Four of us coming together to put on this broadcast for all of you watching in the Belle Province and beyond. Also, big thanks to ballhockey.com and Knapper for making not just this tournament, but this broadcast possible. $10,000 here to the team that scores the next goal. That's what we're playing for. As Midnight Express gets set up behind their own net. comes out now on his backhand side. Falls back in line behind his own net. Finally moves the ball up here to 96. They got a sprinter down the middle. That's what they're looking for. Chips it in deep, does he? Express end up with control of the ball. On the half wall here is 96. He throws it towards the net. Get a stick on it, but Blanchard saw that one. Nice little play. It seems as though the forward for the Express in the crease there had boxed out his defender. So they threw the ball in his direction and landed right on the tape. But he was unable to redirect it or get much on that shot. So Blanchard just covered up. And so we play on. $1:18 to go here. Double overtime. Midnight Express against the Octane. There's the drop of the ball. 55 Lovelace shoots through. That got blocked. It's 88 there for the Quebec Octane. Brandon Element ended up giving it to 89, who tried to ring the boards. Here's a 3-on-2 developing for the Quebec Octane. Let's see if he finds that pass, though. Got intercepted quite well by number 16. Lots of body contact, people scratching and clawing for every inch. There's an opportunity for the Octane. Lots of bodies in front of the net. Everybody's getting chopped as that ball ends up over the glass and out of play. You have to think that these players are getting tired at this point. Is that something that's going to come into play? I mean, they're extremely fit. But to be here in the 5th period of what is going to be their 5th or 6th game this weekend, all high-end, high physicality, we'll see. Time will tell. 41 to go here in the second overtime. Who is it going to be? Who's going to be the $10,000 man? Faubert Jr. back and forth. Here's an opportunity. Andrew Jegg shoves his man in the back. Jegg's coming in hard now, along with 15 on the forecheck. They force the turnover. It's Midnight Express with it now. Over to Crocker. Crocker throws something at the net. That never got through. And Octane coming away cleanly. There was a 3-on-2 developing, but mentioned about fatigue becoming a factor. The third player for the Octane actually went to the bench for a change. Looked like it could have been a 3-on-2 there, but we hear the buzzer. That marks the end of the second overtime period. How many more do we have to play here? Well, stick around and find out. Overtime number 3 is coming up after this short break, live from St. Catharines, Ontario. This is the 2025 Clash of the Titans, brought to you by ballhockey.com and Knapper. Yes, you are reading that correct. That OT3 means we are into triple overtime of the final of the 2025 Clash of the Titans. We've got the Brampton Midnight Express in their black jerseys with red and silver trim, and in the baby blue with the dark blue trim from Quebec, the Octane. We've played 5 periods, each team able to muster 1 goal, both coming on the power play. 9:23 to go in the 3rd overtime period, but the reality is we have as much time as they need. It's continuous overtime. There's Element with the multicolored helmet, throwing a pass through the slot. Jordan Crocker now retreating for Brampton, as they so often do. Far side now. Midnight Express ring it around the boards where they had 56 going in on the forecheck. There's a shot from the far side. At this point, every shot dangerous. Anything on net could go in, could be the $10,000 shot. Does Jordan Crocker have it? There's a man going to the net. Nice little pass from 58. Timed just perfectly, but another save by Maxime Blanchard. Brampton calling for a penalty, but I think the referees would be reluctant to do so unless you're taking away a scoring opportunity here in the 3rd overtime period. Brampton controlling the ball. Throws something at the net. Hits, oh, what a save by Blanchard. Seen that go in so many times. The ball was dangerously just kind of lying out there in the high slot, and 19 spun around, and just as he did, Blanchard kicked out his right red pad. Over to 91 now. Jonathan Tanguay running through the neutral zone. Stops just inside the blue line, waiting for some of his support. Midnight Express, though, able to dispossess a little of the ball, and they come out now as Octane are making a change. There's a little move by 16, trying to get in. Forehand, backhand, and Blanchard was wise to that. Nice little chance there by number 16 for Midnight Express. That's Noah Lemos. That breakout attempt was actually shot almost the length of the ice, but ended up in the Quebec Octane zone. Express win the draw. Up at the red line now with it. Fired into the near corner. Back behind the net. Express trying to do anything they can to force that ball out in front of the net. Here's an opportunity now, dangerously in front. Comes back out now to the left point. Around the perimeter goes Midnight Express. Over to the far side. Working to the middle for a shot. Here's a snapshot that doesn't get through. 89 for the Octane goes down at a heap in the corner. 3-on-2 developing here for the Octane. Good defense though by the Express as they fired around, and now they mount a counterattack of their own. .63 for Midnight is first on that ball. That's Caden Rauji. In the far corner. Looking for an available option. In front now. All he has to do is get this up in the air. Rauji was trying to do just that, but the defender just simply wouldn't let him. Octane now. This is Trudeau. Trudeau takes a heavy slash and a cross check. Before Brampton takes the ball back, there's the open man, a 2-on-1. There's the pass. Oh, what a save by Blanchard. What a save. As now it's a 3-on-2 for the Octane. Oh, offside. Offside, says the referee. No, maybe we have a penalty coming up. I believe behind the play, the referee has called something. If it's head contact, I'm not exactly sure. 63 for Midnight is absolutely incensed. Just beside himself. Going to the penalty box. Could not believe the referee made that call. I didn't see it. Most of the eyes were following the play as the Brampton was mounting. It was the Octane mounting a 3-on-2 rush. And obviously something happened behind the play. Lots of chatter now, lots of chatter. Emotions are running very, very high here. 2 minutes is up on the board, up on the clock. A penalty forthcoming to Brampton Midnight Express. It was Caden Rauji in behind the play. Still not exactly sure what he did. We've got the number 1 unit out here for the Octane of Quebec. Up at the top now, there's Captain Provençal. Over to number 4. LeVay's got a heavy shot. LeVay now cycling down. Setting up an umbrella. 97 gets dumped. Here's a shot. Just wide. That was an absolute laser. Brampton able to chip the ball across center. 15's got it now. Thinking about doing something himself. Killing the clock at least. He's able to get it all the way back into his zone where Midnight Express were able to kill off a few more seconds here of this power play. That clearing attempt ended up in the bench, in Brampton's bench. So as a result, we'll have a face-off coming up deep in Brampton's zone with 1:15 left in the power play and exactly 5 minutes to go in this third overtime. Quebec Octane have decided to call a timeout. They had all their big guns out there for the start of this power play, and now 45 seconds in, they want to give them a bit of a breather, get them fresh for the rest of the PP. For the Octane, I keep calling out number 19, Carl LeVay. He's got a very heavy shot, right-hand shot, so look for them to load him up. So far, most of his shots have either missed the net or hit the goalie, but I don't think goalies are able to save it. It's coming real fast. Faceoff appears to be outside the zone. I think the claim is that it actually deflected off one of the Octane sticks before it ended up in Brampton's bench. So that would be no zone then for the Octane, who have LeVay under center. He wins the draw, and quickly they get the zone. That's offside. Good call by the referees. Very much a bang-bang play. 1:06 to go in the man advantage. 4:51 to go in the third overtime period. This is the second power play of overtime for the Octane. The physicality has picked up here in overtime. Referee's willing to let a lot go. We got 97, Stephen Proul. Thinking about shooting and passes down low. Back to Proul again. He's got LeVay real close to him. Decides to switch spots with him. There's a shot towards, I think he was looking backdoor on that. And now it's LeVay. He works it down low, back to LeVay. There's the shot. And again, way high over the net. Needs to dial that one in. If he can get that under the crossbar, it's going in. Playing catch on the far side. Lining up Moquet. Here's LeVay. 14 seconds now to go in the man advantage. Tried to force one through a seam that wasn't there. Moquet down to the far side. Looking for the bumper man. He's got it. Here we go. LeVay with the shot. That got blocked. Midnight Express now on a bit of a run themselves. It's a 2-on-1. Ken 63 throw it over. He does. Oh, great defensive play. I believe that was Tanguay who was able to get back and get a stick on that pass and disrupt it. Here's an advantage for, oh, what a shot by Element. He was going top short side. He had it picked. Credit to Ciparone for stopping that one. Circling the wagons now is Trudeau. He's got a man in the slot, decides to walk it out himself, takes a shot. That sails over the net. It's Trudeau again with it, battling for the ball on the far wall. Oh, here's nearly a break for Brampton. He's able to get back. And just that quickly, we turn the other way. It's a 3-on-1, which is now a 3-on-2. Pass down low, there's a shot. Just goes wide by number 11. Now banging away at it in the crease is number 10. Cycles it back to Brandon Element. He takes a shot at the net. That was going top shelf. I'm not sure what it hit. That was going in. Here's 68. He winds. He shoots. That gets blocked. As Brampton's off to the races. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the third overtime period. Blanchard had a little bit of difficulty as the two Midnight Express players run into each other right in front of the Quebec goaltender. 2 minutes, 24 seconds to go here in the third overtime period of a winner-take-all final of the Clash of the Titans. $10,000 is on the line. And I'd like to say hi to all the commenters that are playing $10,000 bingo. Apparently you're keeping track of how many times I say $10,000 prize over the course of the stream, so thank you very much for that. Not sure where the count's at. And just so you know, I only came into today with 3 periods worth of material. So you have overworked me and stretched me thin as we were into the third overtime. But yes, I see the comments there, and thank you very much for playing along at home. I'll give you another one. Whoever scores the next goal, their team's going to win $10,000. Looks like we're set to go here. Midnight Express has a little floater towards the danger zone, and Blanchard kicks that out with his right pad. That's Zach Correa with the ball here on the short side. Puts the defender on his back and trying to make something happen. Legs are getting a little tired here. Jordan Crocker has played half this game, it seems, the captain for the Midnight Express. Stretch pass there was a little too far for 98 to corral. Faubert Jr. just couldn't quite catch up to that one. And with 1:46 to go, we'll have another face-off now to the right of Maxime Blanchard. Midnight Express won the draw, but it was Octane that pounced on it first. Stephen Proul up on his off wing. Down into the corner to his teammate. And it's in! Congratulations. Check. Yeah, sorry about that. Congratulations. Congratulations to the Quebec Octane for winning with 1:34 to go in the third overtime period. The 2025 Clash of the Titans. I'm going to get down there to ice level and see if we can get an interview here with the $10,000 goal scorer. Bonjour, mes amis. I am here with the $10,000 goal scorer, your captain of the Quebec Octane, Samuel Provençal. Samuel, bonjour. Congratulations. If you want English and French, you want to say anything first to everybody watching at home?
I'll just say it in English for everyone. I'm just super happy. It's unreal. It's my third time here at Clash of Titans, and we lost both of the two times in finals. So we needed to come back and have the job done, and I think that's what we did. I'm just happy I ripped it in, man.
All right, let us know, because how the hell did that go in?
I don't know. Vladimir Fauba just made an all-real pass. I just drove to the net, and the ball just came to me, and I tipped it in. So it was just unreal.
Third overtime. I mean, you guys basically played 2 games out here. What was the message from the coaching staff in between periods, and how were you feeling stamina-wise?
Honestly, my legs just hurt, and I think the coach just said, let's go shift after shift. We know it's tough. It's going to be a tough battle. They're a super good team, and I know all the guys there, and we knew it was going to be tough. And it was shift after shift. Let's just bring the legs out there, and I think that's what we did.
Well, as you can hear, your teammates are partying, and I don't want to Ernie Clement you and have you here when you should be there partying with the boys and getting in that team picture. So congratulations to you and the guys. I know the drive home just got that much better, didn't it? $10,000. How are you going to spend it? Then I'll let you go.
I don't know, man. I think it's going to be maybe the weekend or something. I don't know. We'll see after that.
The captain of your 2025 champion Clash of the Titan Quebec Octane, Samuel Provençal. Congratulations, mon ami. Enjoy. For all of us, all of our crew here at WeeStream, Knapper, ballhockey.com, thank you very, very much for joining us for today's podcast. This has been the 2025 Clash of the Titans. We'll see you next year.